so let's begin. Now you want to make sure make sure you have loads of powdered snow and some leather boots, and it has to and yeah, that's all you need. And also you need a shovel and a pickaxe to dig down. Now first step is find a smooth area for your build. To build it. Okay. And also it has to be somewhere really good that is really smooth. I'll build my one up here near the beast. Then you dig down a hole any downwards, like a block deep. You can do how deep you can do it. For me, I'm going to be doing this deep. And then you just make a small. Then you put it around your house or something. Like you have to leave this area open. So you make sure you have this pit like it should look like something like this. Something like this. I'm not finished building my pit still, so you can move on to the next part if you want. So the next part is placing powdered snow all over it. Yeah, I'll show you in a sec. I'll show you after I'm done deleting all this. Do it. I'm going to be turning this way. Right. So you basically can do a new deep. And also, put down some comments put down below some of the comments what I should build next in my next video, some comments, because I'm running out of ideas. Yes. This will take a while, but pretty much sure I'm trying to rush fast. So you build like a big hole. I'm in creative mode, so this would be good to use creative mode. Also, if you have never played survival mode, it's like a mode where it's survival, there's hunger and all that. And your goal is to defeat the Ender Dragon if you never played survival. And I'll give you a tip if you're playing survival. First tip is that you should probably avoid going in caves if you have 0 armor, because it's a little bit dangerous. So I would suggest getting some leather armor. Okay, I'm done. Now you get powdered snow. You have to make sure it's not in a bucket. So you have to make sure it's like out. But if you can't, that's okay. You can use a bucket. Okay. And then you place it like this, all over. You place it everywhere. You keep on placing it like this until you're happy with this. Until you came up to the part where you fill this entire place up. And it's a little bit expensive and cheap at the same time. And also, I'll just say this is a perfect trap. And then you go underneath, and you can place any type of trap you want to defeat your mobs or something. I suggest putting some powdered snow, since that could I suggest putting some powdered snow. So once you've done that, you're pretty much so close to be done. There's still more to go. Then, once you have set your trap underneath, you have to make sure that you have at least a block in the middle. A block in the middle. Now the block in the middle that you're going to be having is the place where you're going to be putting an outpost. Outpost. So to build this outpost, you need some little bit expensive items. Dark spruce. Also, you can, if you want, you don't have to build this outpost, but if you want, you can. Then you basically have to build this outpost like this, and leave one hole like this, and then you make sure you cover it like this, basically. And then the final step, you get a ladder, and a fence. That is any type of fence. I'll do cherry blossom since I like cherry wood. So let's do it, and also it's not my favorite type of wood. Cherry blossom wood. There is a type of wood that I do like, but yeah, it's a secret. And next, if you want, you can add some snow golem defense, but yeah, I do not want to do it. So you're done. Now basically, you turn it to, okay, let's turn on cheats, so I can turn this entire thing into night. Active cheats, and then you get a you get at least some leather armor, just in case if you accidentally fall into your trap, and a leather boot, the important stuff for the trap. Now, once you go over it, you won't fall in, but if you remove your leather boots, you will, and I would say you would not like it. So quickly put on your leather boots now, and then use a command if you want to, then wait for light, or if you're like me, just use obviously a good command, and then summon all of the mobs that you want to come after you. I'm going to be summoning a lot of zombies to test this trap, if it actually works. Now, I basically get up here and go into survival. Now, once in survival, all the zombies will come after you, and they will go all the way down to the bottom of your trap, like you can see. But you, luckily, if you accidentally fall off, you will not fall into the trap. Oh, just okay. Nice. See? You will not fall into the trap. Only the zombies that you have will. And the next step is also the most important step. Never ever, if you see a creeper, obviously do not go down near it, because then it's gonna ruin your trap. And if you want to, like me, you can just summon some more. Like this. That has got gold armor. And also, this might be good for your next unicorn. Just summon all of them. Just summon them. And now you basically wait for night. Or if you're... And also now, basically, if you see a skeleton, be really careful around him when he falls into your trap. And never go inside of it. Also, if you want, you can turn it to day. And you'll end up pretty cool results. Also, if you see a rainbow skeleton, this is your chance to run. This is one of your chances to be careful around it. Okay, I was so close, but I managed to survive. That was really close. And now they can all fall. And if you see a skeleton, I can show you what happens. If you don't mind, not mind. You need to And if you did not know, sometimes the trap can sometimes break. That sometimes happens. The trap sometimes breaks, but it's okay. Also, if a skeleton is inside of this, the bad news is not the skeleton inside. It will turn into a stray. And stray, don't worry, you'll get defeated as well. And for some reason there's a zombie. Yeah. So that's one of my secure gates. Gate number 2 is going to be way better than the last one, I think. This next gate number 2 is going to be a little bit better. So gate number 2 is basically the really cheap one as well. And you need berry. You need a berry bush and some loads of bone meal because you need to bone meal all of this. So you basically put a mix of bamboo. You put a mix of bamboo, and I don't know if you want to, but you can put tick spray speed if you want to. And then you just bone meal it. And yeah, you put the berry bushes between all of the bamboo. And that would make a big fence. I don't want to do this one since it's just boring to do. So let's move on to the next one. It's going to be a little better than the last one. Now this one involves a little bit of magma. So this one is basically, you'll have a wall. You know frost water. You know frost walker. That really useful stuff that you can use to really go. Did you know, if you did not know this, but with frost water you can go on anything. Also, if you have frost water leather boots, you're like unstoppable because you can go through powdered snow, and you can go through on magma, and you can go on water. So, like, that's actually really cool. Okay, now you've basically, this one is actually a really good one. You basically make sure that you have this I think this one is all bigger, but you have to make sure you have 2 blocks wide like this. And then you keep on doing it like this until you're happy and you want to turn around and do this. And once you turn around again. And you do the same thing twice. And you should end up with this shape of a rectangle. And now in the middle, you basically put carpet over this. And the next step is going to be a little better. Next step, you had to apply frost worker only on leather boots because once you apply that leather boot thing, once you do that, you can end up making. Then you put some powdered snow on the edge. You put some powdered snow on top, and then. Just kidding, you do not put powdered snow. And I was joking. But I was not joking. Well, I was not joking about using leather boots. You do have to use leather boots. And then you basically make a hole with some. Then you basically make 2 holes around your entire circle, about like this, and you should end up with this. Okay, if you're not a parkour pro like me, I would suggest do not do it. But if you are, this is gonna be good. Then you should end up with like this, with a small platform in the middle. Then at the bottom you place magma blocks all around, and now that cover it with carpet to make sure it's just disguised. And now you, once you jump, and next you go up with your platform and add a ladder onto it. The reason why we add a ladder is just in case if you accidentally fall off. And then you basically do this. A small outpost like what I did last time. This one is a little different and thinner. I'll make sure there's no fences to block my way of jumping. And then you do the obviously same thing again and make it night. That was not night. You make it night. And then you get some zombie to spawn in by you. Or whatever, you should spawn in. Then you spawn in. Oops, I accidentally spawned in the wrong type of zombie. It was zombie. And now this is the risky part where you should actually eat forward. Stop it. This is the risky part. You go in survival and then you quickly get up as fast as you can. And this will eventually happen. It's a genius way of the cell, but just also be careful. If you don't have enough, if you're on one half, be really careful. I would suggest if you're on one half, do not. Make sure there's no skeleton. Yeah, this. And also, this is like a mob. You can make a mob farm with this. But that mob farm is gonna be another. Oh my goodness. Hold on, can I distract them? Hold on. Can't I just... look at this. They're not even coming after me. Great. I wish I can just spawn them just right in front of me. Just when you're spawning them right in front of me. See what happens. I get no idea how to talk this. Do the same thing with the zombies. If you have any houses, this type of people spawning, do not do it, spawn it, because it's not gonna handle entirely. Well, this space will handle something, and I'll just suggest it's a really good base to build. And if you want, you can wait out the night, or just cheat like me and just turn it to day. And if you want, you can do something really funny. It's just at the right time, once all this on, at the right time you can, and this is really good for XP farm, unless a creeper is nearby, because that is a big problem if there's a creeper. But don't worry, I can solve that. Thank you for watching my video, and watch out for the part 2. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like down below. And I would really want you to put some comments down to what should I, so you can, like, I should build something, like something.